Greetings, fellow humans, Wayne the Crimson Eye here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Valkyrie Profile 2. I was a big fan of the first Valkyrie Profile. It is, for lack of a better word, aggressively innovative, combining turn-based and action-oriented gameplay before the likes of Undertale even showed up. Because of what it adds, and for the fact that so little have sought to imitate it, its gameplay has aged surprisingly well, and it has cemented itself next to the greats with Final Fantasy VI and Xenosaga. So naturally, I moved on to the sequel. As such, Valkyrie Profile 2 had a lot to live up to, and thankfully delivers and then some. It is easily the best Square game on PS2. Gameplay furthers the real-time and turn-based elements. For one thing, you have free reign of an entire battle arena. Your goal is effectively to avoid the enemy's line of attack, and mostly attack from behind. You have the ability to split from the team. You can break enemy parts, which can net items, and can make enemies a lot more aggressive. AP is used instead of CP, so spellcasters can attack at any time. Using items or spells like Heal or Might Reinforce will cost AP and will disable the menu for a certain period of time. However, the mobility does come with its own set of problems. Many times the characters have gotten stuck in walls when I've tried to dash, and sometimes they just won't follow you. And sometimes when they do follow me, they walk right into enemy attack, which is absolutely frustrating. And ethereal enemies, just forget about them. I did. As for dungeons, Symphony of the Night style exploration works at its best when coupled with a JRPG system, especially if platforming skill is going to have the depth of a Metal Gear Solid game. Valkyrie Profile 2 actually introduces puzzle platforming within its dungeons, which is a really nice break between its very long fights. Dungeons also come with seal stones, which come with effects that can work for you or against you. The important thing is, bring the ones that increase your attack power with you. With regards to RPG elements, skills are earned through accessories instead of earned through exploration. You coordinate certain runes and colors, and you have to spend a healthy length of time with the character battling in order to fully earn that rune. It also opts for traditional RPG progression wherein spells and even specific attacks are learned through leveling up. The game doesn't give you special attacks from the outset, and are instead locked to certain weapons, which adds a little more hard decision making. Some weapons without the special attacks might allow for more attacks within one turn and may even offer stat boosts, so it all comes down to which means more to you. Anyone who is disappointed by Final Fantasy X's streamlined RPG elements will definitely get their fill here. Many game journalists have spoken of its high difficulty level, and to that I agree and disagree. Final Fantasy IV was hard, but it was also consistently ruthless. For the most part, it's a decent challenge, but like Valkyrie Profile before it, the sequel suffers from incredibly uneven difficulty pacing. Some areas were really easy, while others paddled my ass back and forth like a ping pong ball. The final bosses in particular suffer from similar pacing to its predecessor, where the first phase was a bitch, but the last ones were a complete joke, which is a shame considering the spectacle of the final battle. Story-wise, it is magnitudes better than the first one. Cutscenes cut to the thick of it without wasting too much time, and are thankfully skippable, which also extends to the special attacks by the by. The story presented to you is more relevant to what's at hand and is wonderfully paced with the gameplay. I am a gigantic stickler for pacing, and Valkyrie Profile 2 just about nails it. It doesn't waste your time with the Einherjar who have nothing to do with anything and instead focuses on the main protagonists, who won me over from the very beginning, especially Alicia. And it could be just my penchant for elves, but I also loved Rufus. The two of them made a far more convincing couple than Lenneth and Lucian. Since the main storyline is so dynamic, summarizing the overarching plot would be difficult without giving out any spoilers. I will say that the main antagonist's villainy felt far more earned since we spent so much more time with him, unlike Loki who got a few minutes of screen time at best. Alicia's relationship with Silmeria made for a very interesting character dynamic and contributed a great deal to her development as a main protagonist. When she comes to her own in the end, much like with the villain, it felt earned. The last game had Einherjar, and this game is no different. You can earn them while exploring dungeons, and you can release them for certain items, but the game really doesn't do much to encourage it, so it's best to keep them on your team. A lot of them have a lot of unique attacks to offer. Which brings me to my biggest annoyance, how you lose party members. You could spend hours leveling up certain party members and all of a sudden just lose them, leaving you with other characters who do nothing but drag you down. They were dead weight to me. There were 3 characters I was so pissed off with losing, I actually remember vowing to cut off the head and fuck the hollowed out eye sockets of the asshole who took them from me. Going back to Final Fantasy IV, the game took away party members, but the thing is that it gave you new ones to supplement them. The game never incentivized grinding much to begin with, and each area was actually tailored to the combatants in your group, so losing party members really wasn't that big of a deal. Thankfully though, this is somewhat remedied with the game's incredibly meaty seraphic gate. But even with those issues, I absolutely loved this game. I could not put it down. I beat the super bosses, I grinded for hours. The story is wonderful. It comes incredibly close to being Xenosaga levels of legendary, and I am so glad I played it. I might even say that this is better than the first one, actually. Valkyrie Profile 2 is a more than worthy successor to the first game, and I look forward to playing Covenant of the Plume. But what did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like what you saw, there's more where that came from. This is Wayne the Crimson Eye, over and out.